morning. I'm Jan Jorgensen at Sound and Light Healing Arts, and often we get into our topic and discussion before I press record. That allows uh, those that were a little bit busier and had to come in a little bit later to the theater can come in and scoot in their seat. Oh, we have another guest here today. So, what we were talking about is um, finding role models so that we can be a little bit more. Oh, there's a private picture of my partner and I. Oh, well, what the hell? I'll just leave it right there. There it is. It's the truth. And that's what I'm talking about. Not trying to protect everything, protect everybody, assuming that people are going to fall apart if we say the truth. And the prompt for all this is okay, binge watching. In Olympia, it rains. Today, it is so foggy. So I only binge watch after all the work is done. And then I choose which world to go into and be a part of and learn and grow. And it's been, now see, I can't remember, and it's all about aging. It's either Frankie and Grace or Grace and Frankie. And it's Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda. And they're all about, she's 80. Jane Fonda came out in a party last night that she's 80. It's about, well, even though she lied, everyone thought she was 76. Her kids threw a party and it was for 80 and she was outed. It was about everything being outed. The men they were married to were actually gay. They had all of these things in their heart that were never said and never done. But there was one character who unapologetically was always a little kook and always a little different. The fly in the ointment, the one to say the truth. And of course, her name was Frankie. Just two adopted amazing kids of different colors. And how she carries on in her life. Quirky, honest, and if her favorite store at 9:55, I think it's Taco Bell or what's that? Taco. If at 9:55 they won't serve her favorite dessert so she can savor it because they say, I'm sorry, it's closing time, she'll say, let me talk to the manager, or she'll have a sit-in. She values herself. She tells the world, what the fuck? What is this rule for? Does it have any meaning? Is it real? Is it humane? So she brings that element, but interestingly enough, and I tell these stories to help us all be more outrageous, be ourselves, and to push against the envelopes, is that she met this fellow who took her to Santa Fe, and she didn't like it there. She said, they're all like me, even more than I am. So she knew that her change agent self was not fun, not effective. She couldn't push against other people to grow in Santa Fe. So she was properly planted in the pristine bourgeoisie La Jolla, California. So think about that. Think about if you're giving yourself permission. That's why I'm wearing this headdress. I mean, the woman just ties her head and her hair up in all these fabulous ways and wears, I said costumes. Yeah, outfits that are costumes to funerals. We need more color. We need more creativity. We need to hear your unique voice saying, and this is the important part, not like, this makes me angry and you're wrong. She'll say, what the fuck were you thinking? Come on, get on the boat. Let's float down and have some fun together and get over this. She says it in a way that it's sayable for her, safe, and receivable on the other side, where everybody's saying, well, yeah, she's right. Oh, yeah, well, that's Frankie. It breaks the ice for the stuck energy for domination and fear to rule our hearts and souls. And that's your role, to do it in a feminine way. And in that way, it's actually a gift to be feminine. I'm always saying, oh, the feminine has had this, but this. No, the feminine can be undefined now. We've gone all the way. So we have been the matriarchs. We have been single women, Amazonian women who held it down. In Iona, we were community, sacred circle sisters. And in America, we were dutiful wives until World War II came, where we built ships practically overnight. My grandma was the head of the Red Cross of the entire western United States, and they'd sit on top of buildings and watch for warplanes to come over. Women are flexible, much easier than men, because we can multitask and see everything and see what needs to happen. So then women were told to go back home after the war and be good and shut up. But we emerged. Betty Friedan, Rihanna Eisler, starting to learn the theories, and we had already tasted freedom, self-respect, the ability to earn our own and have our own charge card, credit card, 1970s. That was just a blink ago. So here we are, and it's the female energy, in a male body or not, the female energy that is able to hear, decipher, and connect with spirit in an amplified way, greater than the masculine, which is linear in mind and focus. So we feminine have a great opportunity here to be more like Frankie. Okay? Grace, if you've seen it, is a masculinized, thin woman who says, get over it and do it my way or the highway. And she's kind of just coerced and threatened and battered everybody into certain behaviors. And you can see where her children, one in particular, has a real brittle veneer of pushback and angry. So Frankie, let's go over the qualities again. Uncensored, bubbled up, honest truth. In a humorous way, the energy is, well, just get over it. Try this. This might be better for us. This actually works. Feel it. Feel it. Feelings, feminine, masculine, thought, rigid, pre-contained, pre-controlled, preordained. Okay? Wouldn't you rather be feminine? So today we're celebrating that we are more diaphanous, more open, more flowing in our feminine realm. Now again, it doesn't matter what sexuality you hold, because I'm talking about the feminine essence that masculine people with male genitalia have, or female genitalia. Everyone can have masculine or feminine. And some people, hormones might push a little bit more in a certain area for expression, which would be traditionally. But now, with transgender, and my daughter's a special at this, I don't know the names. There's 20 different names of how you express your sexuality and hook up or be in the world. Or not. Or not. Asexuality is a choice as well. Has nothing to do with that. It has to do with feminine is the spiritual essence of the Creator that holds space, that holds many spinning discs. The one who can hear the baby cry, hear the 10-year-old getting cookies out of the cookie jar, hear the husband's phone in the background, or the wife's phone or partner's phone in the background, and hear their voice saying, I'm late at work, can you handle it, but please have dinner with my favorite meal. That women, the spiritual essence, and again, often I say women, and I mean femininity. The feminine holds the space, the land. Does the plants need watering? The baby need changing? Like this, okay? Holding things to a sacred, cohesive, holistic, more heavenly contained, the home. When the home is orderly and safe and beautiful and everyone feels safe, that is when she feels settled. Now, do you see why Earth needs more of the feminine? Okay, over here in the masculine, do this task. Let's make this money. The most efficient way is to have 100 people paying them less, and then I, the powerful one, can make more demands and have a little fun contest of sending spaceships out in space with my other Top Gun guys, and we can have fun. And they're talking that they care about humanity while their feet are on the necks of the beings they're actually saying that they're serving. That's the masculine, the nth degree lived out. It is, there's a divine masculine, but this is the operational, everyday 3D masculine working within our realm. So we could get into masculine and feminine. The divine masculine is now reworking of correct, provide and protect, but we're talking about predominantly female working through the spiritual realm, which is spirit aspect of creation, and the masculine energy is mind, focus, catch the deer, order, and control. So that's the basics. So in our meditation today, you're going to imagine, are there any role models of women living in this world holding the feminine in a way where you can learn and train, grow, imitate, and I imitate. Sometimes I'll say, oh, let me try that on, like I'm doing with Frankie. Sometimes, because I'm binge watching it, it's quite in my consciousness. If I binge watch it for like 3 or 4 hours, I've got quite a lot of Frankie dialogue in my head. So then it might pop out. Who in your world? Because once we identify those role models and we listen more and we focus through entrainment, through vibration, we will begin to try on the qualities that we deem might assist us in getting over our hesitancy to be different, to be a little bigger, to be a little louder, or to withhold, to test the energies of the water. So let's take a deep breath through our nose and out through our mouth. We ask and intend to set a sacred space. We put ourselves in a beautiful geometric structure that allows us to sense just ourselves. This beautiful consciousness here with the body, male or female. And let's now move into the spiritual, feminine essence of yourself, of this body, and your personality is experienced in this incarnation now. Take a nice deep breath. First, big appreciation that you can experience this and you have both parts to work with, the mind and spirit. But right now we're going to settle in and appreciate and open our heart to the beauty and joy of experiencing the feminine essence. Open your heart, open your heart, open your heart. The reason we're opening the heart is the feminine, in her truest essence, has her heart open to receive compliments, to receive resources, food, a car, a home, friendship. So just let your heart open in this feminine essence of having everything you need in community, where everyone else has what they need. As they self-respect and honor and see themselves through your eyes. and through their own eyes. And if they can't see themselves through their own eyes, you are seeing them in such a way that they are beginning to see themselves as lovable, and having validity, efficacy. Take a deep breath and know that all of this is within the feminine realm. You have a mighty, mighty creation wand, and it is your voice. So imagine right now the women in your life who've had the courage, nerve, will to always say what they think. And it has just landed in the middle of a conversation, the middle of a meeting. And even if it had fear, rage, I'm done with this, or how dare you behind it, just acknowledge that that woman has stepped beyond the bounds and is speaking the truth. And notice how that made you feel. No right or wrong, acknowledge your feelings. And maybe you wish she would have said it sweeter or nicer. Now maybe women will not be let to speak at corporate meetings, whatever story, and let that story go. Let it go and honor speaking up in its purest form. Now think of yourself or another woman holding the feminine, being present or speaking up in a way that is dishonest to herself, not allowing, holding back, being demure, being smaller, trying to please everybody, kind of just wrapped in plastic, but still trying to be present and communicate, sometimes in crafty, not directly honest ways. The reason we're doing this is so you can identify the vibration in your body. Feel how that feels. Feel that. And I imagine that you yourself have communicated in this way in the past. So let's begin with this. Breathe into that feeling. And in your mind, go ahead and repeat after me. I ask and intend to unwind this tightly woven matrix of communicating with this energy. I am tired of scanning the environment for safety. I am releasing the fears in my body related to speaking my truth. I release the fear from my stomach, my chest, my neck, and my eyes. I release the fear of speaking my truth across my timeline. I command that the fear of speaking my truth be dissolved, removed, and discreated from my entire energy field now. Take a deep breath, raise your shoulders, and just let out a nice ah. Excellent. It's like we're breaking up old cement, a foundation, right? And when we speak, Our foundations, our thoughts, everything about us, like a megaphone, goes out in the world and bathes other people. So they were feeling your fear. They weren't sure if you really meant what you're saying, because with fear it means they're not sure if they should give it to you, because if you're in fear, they could play with you a little bit. Take a deep breath. So you are finished with that game. Within your realm, as a change agent, you know how important it is to hold your grounding, to hold your purest spiritual energetic profile that is smudged by fear. Take a nice deep breath and anchor in this fearless state that we have just created, this emptiness, which means there's no protection, there's no assumed needed defenses. You are open, willing, and creatively now poised to share truth in ways that feels fun, interesting, kind of tweaks the world of where you put your little truth bombs, and you're not afraid for people to be surprised, because you're not doing it in fear and anger. You're doing it to be a change agent, just dropping in the truth. So we replace this old energy with the playfulness, but with a steely determination to not back up, not wrap up ourselves again. Bubble wrap, you suffocate. So here we are in this open state. And think of your communication now like a river. Sometimes it gets a little wilder, okay? But you are just going with it. And you're saying what you are thinking, because you are connected to spirit, and spirit will guide the words. And that's the difference than speaking from your personality. Well, that's not fair. You always get to go first. No, spirit comes through. Things work better if we take turns. Do you see the difference? Spirit doesn't accuse or make wrong. It's, hey, let's have a game. Let's pull numbers. How about it? Because John, you pretty much you're always number one. It's my turn to be one. Do you see the difference? Make it digestible, palatable, what's that word when it's okay on the palate? It's not astringent, because people will spit your words out if they're accusatory, and make it like you're in a pity party and you're just trying to level that playing field. Try something new. Last year we had a 4th of July party, and I've learned to trust the picture spirit gives me when I'm talking to you in this way. We had a 4th of July party, and everybody, it was kind of a little door open from COVID. Everybody's tired. They forgot even how to have fun. So I said, we are going to throw water balloons. And these are mostly adults. We don't want to get wet. And they said, the kids won't know how to throw them. I said, you watch. So it wasn't easy, because I got little tiny ones that I'm not sure if they kept bursting. But finally we got a bucket of them. And people partnered up. And we laughed so hard. Nobody got wet. They all bounced off, but they were afraid they'd get wet. The excitement and the fun. So the feminine finds ways to infuse breaks in our big, sludgy fear barges, insulation that keep us from flowing with the river of life. And energetically, everybody had to leave all their junk and come and throw crazy little water balloons, which of course bounced off. Nobody got wet. So They all laughed at the end. But even if they got wet, it was 4th of July, it was hot. That would have been fun too. So, how can you be the introduction, that little point of a song that everybody's hearts melts? Of saying a few words or writing a poem that someone just has to go lay down and feel and process because it awakens something so latent, so deep, and so spiritual within them. Just take a deep breath. And sometimes it's one word. Why? Because we humans, we have all these triggers in us. Triggers. For instance, if you were to say, oh, I'm going to visit my friend Martha. For me, that would trigger the love I have for my sister Martha, Aunt Martha, my kids' Aunt Martha, the fiddle player, now a painter, award-winning painter. Amazing Martha. So, if we are listening to Spirit while we are communicating, wouldn't you trust the words that they give you are appropriate for the people you're communicating with? Yes. So before you're with other people, if your life is a sacred river in a flow, get out of your personality and allow Spirit to come in and repersonalize you so that it's the best part of your personality. The fun, the joyous, the loving, the one that is the creative muse. The one who amuses you, keeps you happy, because guess what? All human interrelationships, interactions go well if you're in that space. If you're in that space of openness, joyful service, truth, beauty, love, joy, goodness, rather than, is this going to be the same old family thing? Or are they going to pull this on me? That's fear. That's separation. So, now, a deep breath, and now let's integrate and hold that energy within you. And now we'll go deeper into the meditation. We're spiraling in for your true self to hold and be this golden drop of alchemy, of alchemizing, I'm sure if that's a word, potency into any human situation, because your voice is delivering a string of beautiful pearls, lustrous pearls of joyful, uplifting, memorable wording that goes to their heart. My husband's family has an Uncle Bob, and they always say, Uncle Bob never said a bad word about anybody, and you were just happy being around him. You just felt good. So we have Uncle Bob's light now on our little buffet in our dining room. And we've had a prowler recently, and I said, I'm going to turn Bob's light on. And that light will keep all negativity away. See that? One word, Bob, is joy, kindness, love, honoring everybody. So be a person who has lots of words like Bob or Martha or lavender, something that reminds your neuroendocrinology to go into love, appreciation, and be a beam of light. Okay, so we ask and intend to reset this sacred space. We're going to drop in just a little bit deeper here. And imagine that we're calling in our spirit guides. And they're already here, but I'm helping you imagine so you know and you acknowledge that your guides are here. And they are smiling. They're saying they're getting it in yet a new way. They're getting it. Take a deep breath and feel how good they feel that you're getting it. Yes. By training with them, you're going even to a higher vibrational realm beyond 732 hertz, which is the beginning levels of Christic consciousness where you pop through. Feel their appreciation for you appreciating your feminine divinity. That's why it's called the divine feminine. Now, of course, the Holy Grail, we open our crown chakra and we open and we imagine that we are looking up and we are allowing ourselves to commune with, to see fully with our eyes. Amazing grace, now I see the luminescent presence of the Creator, of Source, of all that is, there, beaming down just for you. Oh, interesting. The same way that you are using your eyes to beam on other people who need a little bit more self-respect and love. That is just what Source is beaming down to you, but guess what? It's 3 trillion times stronger because it's Source. But you're being refilled so that you have enough energy to gaze upon and look upon and send that light to other people who are tired, who can't remember their divinity, and need a shower, a spark of inspiration. So you are receiving this now. It's drenching the top of your head, your eyes, your cheeks, your shoulders, your bones. Everything about you is becoming light. There's a lightness, a levity about it, where you can be more bouncy, more humorous, more responsive to other people and other things in your environment from this standpoint, and having the ability to respond, taking responsibility, not in a heavy, carry my brothers over my shoulder, but carrying them through your light, through your lightness, through your words, through your art, your artistic recreation of yourself, and just emanating that out. That is how we change this reality. Take a deep breath and feel the particles of joy and remembrance going through your arms, your hands, your eyes, and just holding on to it and looking forward. This morning, I always see what I'm going to talk about when I'm brushing my teeth. And the Spirit said, show them that they're living behind a wall of their life, their beliefs, their operations. And why don't you invite them just to go and look on the other side of that wall? Look on the other side. Because even though we feel now free and flowing and joyous and buoyant, chances are when we finish this meditation, you'll go back out and you'll just put that wall up. You'll feel a little bit better for 3 days. It takes 3 days for this to wear off, as a matter of fact, physiologically. But if you really know that you can be this and it is safe and it really works for you and the others, it's big. Look around that wall and see how wonderful your life can be, how you can reorchestrate your life by doing these simple things we've just done. And now, because you are the commander, commandress of your life, take your left arm and that wall is a curtain. Pull that curtain back and powerfully step into the world where your operational systems are light, or you are light. You're emanating light. There's no need to bring that wall back. It was the perception anyway. It was just a few thoughts and a few structures. You've pulled the curtain back. Now, how does it feel now to stand into a new theater stage? This is the upgraded, new way of your role, your theatrical role on earth has just been given a whole new attitude. Same body, but your body will morph, because if you're more joyful, You're going to be changing, you're going to be dressing different, you're going to be moving different, dancing, and of course, your voice will be an invitation for joy and levity and light co creations with other people. So stay on this stage. The old stages are finished. The old learning and work and the way that we were to feel safe is no longer operational. So feel the new stage and look around. Other people who are more joyful, more Frankie like. Other people who just are being joyful, getting on with their lives in the flow of life in a joyful way and flowing with other beings joyfully. And this is paradise. This is earth reclaimed with sustainable, joyful co-creations moving forward. So everything I said in the last 40 minutes was to get you to this state. We ask and intend that each of us anchor in and stabilize and hold this state now, filled with the light of Source. On the other side of the curtain, living your life is a joyous blessing. And it is so. Take a deep breath, and as we always finish the Be the Light meditation, put a beautiful, golden, resilient egg around your entire energy field. So this energy stays in. And we're going to have a little conversation now. I'm going to turn recording off. We're going to have a conversation. But for those of you listening later, you might want to take a pencil and sketch out some wording or yourself or the wall or something. Sometimes making a visual or choosing a little item to make it real. Well, okay, so it happened to be right here. And just lovingly, I'm going to just show you that recently, if I want to kind of break something and I don't want to do something, I actually have this. I say, this is my this is my pen that says no in a fun way. Okay, so isn't that much better to have a fun no pen? In other words, it puts a smile on people's faces. We're done with stalemates of stuck energy. That's not why we're here. We're done with that. Okay, so I'm Jan Jorgensen at Be the Light Meditations every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. And you can find information for that at the website, which is soundandlighthealingarts.com. Okay.